Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, guys and gals, today it is officially Friday the 13th. I know it's not horror season, spooky season yet, but I thought, you know what, I think this is the only Friday the 13th we have left this year. So I thought, why not go ahead and just kind of go over this amazing Friday the 13th collection series that we all received, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago now. It's the wow, let me just throw shit out of here. Put that back in there for now. But it's the set that came out from Scream Factory. They made a beautiful Blu-ray set. First of all, the box is phenomenal, and we'll go over that as well. But the box art looks absolutely beautiful. I love the artwork they did there. So very well done. But anyways, what we're gonna do here is just kind of pick apart this set. Now, when it gets spooky season, like Halloween time and all that, I'm probably gonna do a little bit more detailed because I want to kind of go over all the Friday the 13th stuff I own. You know, like I have a couple pops, I have a couple other items as well. I have a whole nother Blu-ray set also. But for today, we're just gonna cover this bad boy right here. If we can, the hard part is getting these discs out. So if we can get it started, what I'll do is I'll just take everything out right now, and we'll put the case to the side, and we'll just go through everything, okay? So I don't want to really do it backwards, so I'm going to set them off to the side as well and just go along each title. So here you go. The movie that started all, I think it was 1980, somewhere around there, very early 80s. Friday the 13th, a great Blu-ray release. There's the back side right there. What was cool about these when they came out with Scream Factory is they have your, first of all, some of them had a theatrical version and an uncut version. Mostly, like in this situation for sure, I think it was just a little bit more graphic on the uncut version, like a little bit more blood. The scenes are pretty much the same as far as the movies go, but there was more, like I said, blood on those scenes. So, and what I was going to mention though, what was cool about it is you had the option when you got this in to either keep it on this right here, the actual, I'm going to move the disc and show you. That's how I think they were originally. Like that's the actual outside of the case. But it had the flip art. So what I prefer to do, and I did with all these, I believe, is flip it around to it was the actual like movie poster, which is pretty freaking cool. I'm glad that they did that. It makes it look beautiful. But there you go. That is Friday the 13th one. Great movie. Still to this day, we still watch it every holiday season, every Halloween season. Sometimes more than that, but for the most part, at least we're gonna watch the original at least once during the year, and it's usually during that Halloween season, like I said. So. Part 2, Halloween. Tell what's on my mind. Friday the 13th, Part 2. Same way, another great movie. I enjoy all of them. I'm gonna tell you right out the gate, I enjoy all these movies. I think they're great. I know some of them get a little bit silly. I mean, you're talking about sequels. That's just the way sequels go. The original idea is usually the best one. Like the first couple, one or two, are usually the best ones. And if from that point on they get, I don't want to say worse, but they get a little bit more silly with the kills. They get a little bit more out there with the story. But in my personal opinion, I think it's still all very enjoyable. So yeah, that's just me. Some people may disagree with that, but there's some in the later movies in the series. I think it's 4 or 5 that I really enjoy. They're just great movies. So, but anyways, that being said, let me just take the disc out of the way as well. That's the original. Again, the original back front of the cover of the case, but I flipped them around to where it had more of the like the theatrical poster look. Some of these are just kind of generic too. Like that's very generic looking. To be honest with you, though, that's not that's not far from being generic. But again, I prefer the ones that look more like the actual theatrical posters. And we have Part 3. That was the one that came out in 3D back in the day. If you were lucky enough to see, I was alive. I was born and everything, but I was too little to see any kind of horror movies like this in the theater. But this one was in 3D in the theater. Now, watching it now, you can see that the effects are pretty rough. Because that's back when you had to put on like the 3D glasses. And like there's a part, just for example, where this guy's eye pops out at you, and you can, it just, it looks so bad. It's like on a wire, and his face just totally doesn't look real at all. But hey, that was the effects back in the early 80s. So, but I still enjoyed this movie. Thought it was great. It's the backside right there. I really like the way he looked in this movie. This is the first one where, I think this is the first one where he actually gets a mask, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he had it in Part 2 yet. I'm pretty sure about that. But yeah, that's the traditional, obviously the what he's known for, his actual hockey mask. But there's Part 3. And there's our disc on the inside, 3D Blu-ray. And again, we take this off. I think this cover is actually pretty close to the same. Yeah, it's just had more like a 3D effect to it, like he's coming through it a little bit differently. But yeah, again, this one was like the original poster art, so that's what we went with. Go, and then we have the final chapter, Friday the 13th 4, another great flick. That's the back side of that. Had Corey Feldman in as a youngster, and Crispin Glover. That's pretty cool to see those guys in their earlier years, so to say. But there's that. Sorry, I'm just looking at something here real quick. Okay, interesting. There's the inside. Again, some of these just have one disc, which is just all you need. But these all look great, by the way. The Blu-ray transfers of these look really, really good. Or just Blu-ray versions of these look really awesome. Again, a very plain cover originally. I flipped it to that one. And we got A New Beginning, a really cool looking cover, actually. It's number 5. There you go. It's the back side of it. Pretty cool. This movie actually had, I'm a big Return of the Living Dead guy. This movie actually has, I think it's got 2 people in here that are from Return of the Living Dead. This guy right here for sure is. And then there was I think another gentleman in the movie that's also from Return of the Living Dead. It's pretty cool. But there's the back side of that. And yeah, it's a pretty rough scene where he acts as that kid out in front of everybody. There's the inside. Again, I've got the old cover flipped. Super boring. Just has dialogue, you know, or just writing. At least this has a little bit more picture on it. Then we've got, I think it's this one. Maybe it's this one that I really enjoyed. There's one of these I really enjoyed a lot. I mean, I like them all, like I said, but well into the series. It's like the 5th or 6th one or something like that. I really liked a ton. I think it's this one right here. This one also has, believe it or not, what's his name? I want to say Thumb or something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, there's another guy in here from Return of the Living Dead as well. So I just can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's actually this guy right here in this little scene right here, I believe. But yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I really don't know why, but it's cool that, you know, Return of the Living Dead actors are also in these, you know, in these movies. And, you know, it's probably just because back then a lot of the people who were in the horror movies, they were in more than one, obviously. They were in multiples, you know. It's pretty cool to see them spread across different ones. So, anyways, really cool cover. I've always liked this poster art for this one. Friday the 13th, Part 6. And here's the inside. Now, this one has just a scene for the original cover art, which I guess really it's not even that. I guess that was just, this one I may not have even flipped. It might have been just like this on the inside to begin with. I can't remember now. Cool. Friday the 13th. New Blood, Part 7. There you go. Sorry, didn't have it in the camera there. Another cool cover as well. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. This girl's a psychic right here. Or she has like psychic powers. So it's pretty neat though. That's a good movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the guy's name I was thinking about a while ago, I think his name was like Thumb Matthews or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, I'm moving on. But he was from Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2. So, and the same thing right here. We have just a picture in the background, which is really cool. It's kind of an iconic scene of Jason's. You know, just another kind of screenshot there. Go. Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Manhattan. I remember how big this was when it hit the theater. There's a lot of people just, you know, just the talk around it and everything. How big of a, not necessarily it was gonna be a big hit, but just a lot of people were excited for it. And that's also a really awesome cover for it. It's the back side. I love this one. I know I've said that about all of them, but it's true. They all have, every time I see a new one that I'm bringing out here to show you, they all have kind of a part or two that I'm remembering. I'm like, oh yeah, that part was awesome. I love that movie. So there you have it. On the inside here, another scene in the background. Just Jason, I think actually in Manhattan when he first sees the poster of the hockey mask. Pretty crazy. Jason Goes to Hell. Another really cool cover. And this kind of set up the one that ends up. It's not the very next movie, I don't think, but it does set up the scene for Freddy versus Jason. Spoiler alert! At the very end, where Freddy pulls the mask down into the ground. That's pretty cool. Like he pulls it to hell or whatever, and that represented the. I think they were just getting people hyped up for the potential of a Freddy versus Jason movie. But another cool cover, like I said. There's the back side of it. I do love this one, but it is a little weird. It's not so much Jason in his own body. He's more about going around possessing people. So you don't really get to see him a whole lot in his actual kind of like his trademark look, you know, with the mask and stuff on. You do see him like that a little bit, but a good majority of the movie is him just kind of transferring his or possessing other people throughout. So still pretty cool. This one had 2 discs as well, unrated version and the theatrical version. I'm about to explain something to you guys here in just a minute about some other disc that there was a little bit of controversy. I don't know all the details, but I'll talk to you about it briefly here in just a moment. But anyways, here is the other cover. Now it looks very similar, but it has writing on it. I just decided to go with the one with the less writing. It's like, I don't know. It's just done differently. It looks more like the actual theatrical poster would, so love it. There you go. Jason X, the one that takes place in the future, is the next one. I thought that was pretty cool, especially we had that towards the end of the movie. You have a super Jason. That was pretty insane, but still fun to watch. Absolutely loved it. It's the back side, interior. Blu-ray disc out of the way, and there's another. That's real close to the same, isn't it? Evil Gets Upgrade. I'm not sure if there's a ton of difference, but oh, the back is different. There's that one for her, and there's that back right there. So I'm not sure if that's the only difference or not, but anyways, it's not a huge difference. Go. Freddy versus Jason. Classic. Could not wait to see this in the theater when it came out. I think around 2004-ish, does it say on here? 2003, 2004, somewhere in that era. Somewhere in that area, excuse me. There is the cover for it. That cover is very much, one I remember when I was younger. I always thought that was cool, them looking at each other. And it's very much a theatrical looking poster or style picture there. So it's the back side. Here's the other one. That looks pretty cool too. Just has them standing next to each other. Not bad. Go. And then I think this is the 2009 version that came out. It's just like it's kind of like a remake. Freddy vs. Jason has that kid from I can't remember his name, but one of the brothers from Supernatural. What is that guy's name? It'll say on here. Let me see. Jared Padalecki. Yeah, there it is. Padalecki, however you say it. Anyways, from Supernatural. He's done other stuff too, but that's kind of like what he's known for a lot of. But good movie. Good movie. Jason looks mean in this one. He's just big. As you see right here, he's just big and tough. So, ooh, that's a little stubborn. Go. Open that one up. It does have an alternate cover as well. Doesn't look bad, but I went with this one. Thought that one was pretty cool. And the last disc that comes with this is just a collection disc. Bonus materials. Tells you what all kind of stuff it comes with right here. Interviews and just all kinds of stuff. A lot of documentaries. But really cool. And then another thing that you got with it was the book. I think it has like artwork. It also tells you, kind of walks you through it, the series, and just information about each movie, I believe. Pretty good little book here. Yeah, pretty crazy. I like the artwork in the front there. Pretty cool. But that is it. But one thing I wanted to tell you guys, I told you all to remember something earlier, was also, so there was issues where it was certain discs, people were kind of complaining about it. Excuse me. I don't remember all the details of it, but what happened after this version came out, they were sending out people. I went ahead and got on board because at the time I knew what the problems were. It wasn't that big of a deal to me, but I was like, hey, more copies of the movie, that's fine. So, but at the time there was issues. I think this one, Jason Goes to Hell, they sent us a copy of it, and another copy. And I think it's because on the rated version, the one that came with the actual set, is not much different than the actual rated version. So like, there's parts, for example, where, there's more gore. It's supposed to be in the unrated version, and I don't think that gore really transitioned over to, to to the version that was included with the box. So that's why they sent all of us one of these. Friday the 13th Part 3. Same kind of situation. Well, no, not exactly. I apologize. Part 3 was something to do with the 3D, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't think it was truly, because they're both Blu-ray 3D movies, which of course I love. But I don't think it was truly, I think it was something small, like maybe the very beginning, or some of the parts early in the movie weren't in 3D. Like I said, I think it was something very small, like maybe even just the credits. But still, they wanted to make sure the customers were happy, and I applaud them for that. So they sent out everybody a copy of this as well. I got all 3 of these discs together all at the same time. And the last one, Jason X, same way. I think this there were some scenes missing, or it just, I can't remember exactly. This is the one I really don't remember the least about, but there were some either issues with the disc itself, or again, content missing or something like that. And so they sent out, I'm trying to think. It might have been even some kind of visuals, like maybe it might have not been quite the high quality that it should have been. And so they sent everybody another disc of this, a replacement disc. So, but there you have it, guys. Friday the 13th, the collection, the deluxe edition from Screen Factory. And again, it came out 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember exactly. Not too terribly long ago. Maybe even longer than that. I'm not sure. It's been a little bit. But yeah, great set. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just kind of recapping this set. Like I said, when it does come out, or when it does get closer to Halloween, we'll be doing a lot more videos, of course, around these horror movies. But also, in particular, this one, I'd like to kind of go in a little more detail about my my Jason collection, my Friday the 13th collection. It's not just this box set here. I've got a few other things as well. Not a ton, but a few other things. So stay tuned for that. But again, that won't be till like October-ish. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video or enjoyed this kind of content, let me know. I've got plenty more stuff to do. And really appreciate you if you give me a like, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. But other than that, guys, happy Friday the 13th. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.